Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me. I have had to dismantle my gear and bring my gear back, so I'm going to do a little bit of a test here to make sure everything is good. I think everything is good. So let me know that you can hear me well. Let me know that you can see me well. And good morning, Claudia. Um, yeah. So Hi, welcome to Thursday. Welcome to today, whatever we call it. Checking in. I'm whole. I'm here. That is the blessing, right? I think I've got all my parts. They're working. It feels like I'm feeling the shift, so my system in seasons, that is. How about I complete a sentence? I'm Belinda. Welcome. I'm with Just Be Yoga, and this is our home yoga practice live. Today is our Thursday practice, and that is finding new edges or learning new levels of things. And we're going to do all of that within the context of our theme this week of moksha or liberation. I hope that you've all been enjoying this exploration of liberation and how we treat it as an action in our movements, in our poses, and in our behaviors outside of our mat. So we're going to get started today with our check-in. Good morning, Joanna. We're going to get started with our check-in, so make yourselves comfortable however it is you like to start your practice. I generally like to start sitting, and I take a moment for some checking in or clearing or centering, whatever's that language that you need that says, hi, I'm plugging into my practice and I'm bringing in my focus and my intention right here. Letting go of the busyness that has already been going on today. Inviting ourselves for the practice of all 8 limbs of yoga. Our yamas, our behaviors, non-stealing, non-lying, non-harming, non-hoarding, and moderation. How we treat ourselves and walk in the world, contentment, purity and cleanliness, dedication and devotion, self-study and surrender. How I treat my body in our poses, connect with it. How I connect with my breath, how it serves me, how it serves others. How I connect with my senses. And do I get distracted with my senses so that I lose my focus? Concentration. How do I practice concentration? Present awareness or meditation. And unification. How do I blend all of those and let them work together? Or do I find myself sidelining some of them and say, I will get to them later, or I will leave them over here? I feel as though much of the way we live our current cultural, societal life is so segmented. My spirit expression and practice is over here, right? My joy and entertainment is over here. My family stuff is over here. Everything is separated, like peas don't touch carrots. But unification is about blending it all up and it's still being whole. All right, I'm going to start with an abdominal breath. So I'm going to bring my hands to my belly and just let myself bring my awareness to the sensation of touch, feeling the folds of my flesh, my clothing, letting the belly really expand naturally, uninhibited. And as I have these abdominal breaths, I get to really check in on the mind chatter that goes on about what I'm touching, any self-consciousness I have there, any wholeness I have with my body, any love. How do I find a balanced union as I feel this expanding abdominal breath? Can I permit that breath to expand in my entire body? Freeing myself from the habits of my mental criticism. Freeing myself from believing that there's a limit to my breath. Can we press it all out? Can we find a new level of inhale? How much more? One more itty bit of volume that you could bring in. And pressing it all out mindfully. And let's continue finding these limits and edges of the inhale and the exhale. And look at what did it take to let in just a little inky bit more of breath. How much mind had to work with body. Exploring what's possible. What did you have to loosen in your flesh to make more space for the belly to expand a little bit more? Beautiful. And notice how much did we free ourselves from maybe a confined thought and a limitation in order to find a little bit more breath and learn something about our capacity. Alrighty, we're going to get started with hands and knees for some cat and cow. Before we get moving too much, be sure that you have checked in with your journal on your yoga plan for this week. Check in on how you're feeling about it. Where are you today? All right. And we're going to spend the time element together if you're here. But look at what you're observing. Maybe choose something you want to observe today as we move and as we breathe together, working on new levels and new edges in our practice, physical, mental, breath-wise. All right. I'm going to start in hands and knees. And just start to find that circular sway, going back, side, forward, back. Feel the body responding. There's still a lot of checking in that's going on. Feel the flesh moving around your bones. Make sure that we're not forcing the body anywhere in a pace or capacity that it's not ready for this morning. Changing our direction. Maybe let the head hang. Can we feel some stretching, some movement in the neck? Just doing a quick little diagnostic check on all physical systems. Where are they willing to meet us today? Now, let's see if we can really find new edges of forward, side, back, side, forward. Could you lean a little bit more forward? What are we feeling? What parts of us have to work? Join the party, so to speak. Change direction. I'm finding that the side edges, I could really get a little bit more into the sides of the ribs. Ooh. Seeing how much can we fit in this frame, our intention. And I like to imagine that my intention is bigger than what the confines of my skin and my flesh can hold. I'm going to talk the toes and lengthen the hips up, dropping the head down for down dog. All right, so we're all checking in on our practice here. Yesterday I talked about, do you always have to do things a certain way, and can you free yourself from those patterns? Remembering that moksha means liberation from the cycles of suffering. So looking at various patterns and say, oh, I do this all the time, or I always do something this way. Can we change it? Good. Breath in. Let's look forward and make our way up to the top of the mat. Lift yourself up halfway. Forward fold, letting it go. Check in right now. What did we do too fast in this forward fold? What can we soften up? Meet the body where it wants to be. And then let's come all the way up. Breathing in, exhale, forward fold. Now I'd like to roll the spine up, keep the knees bent. We're going to roll the spine up and feel that gentle rounding, stretching like a rolling pin went up and down our spine. Giving us a nice massage feeling. All right. But I want to feel the distinction now between having some carried intention of keeping the core going as we come forward. So we're just going to hinge, squeeze the thighs, hinge, a nice straight flat spine. Come all the way to that nice straight flat spine, and then take yourself forward and see if you can keep the spine flat. Now back up. Feel how much you have to push the legs down. Try not to round the spine. Breath and lift. Now that may not be for everyone, all right? That might cause some pain in the low back. Do try to squeeze the belly, pulling the navel to the back of the spine, feeling containment and feeling your own will toward bringing that containment. And we'll bring that in again, and now make a choice. Breath in, lift your waist off your hips. Exhale, forward fold. Try to keep that spine as flat as you can. Breath in, half flat back, lifting from the hinge, not from the chest. And we'll step to plank, maybe legs together, maybe your knees are down. Let's lean far, far forward. How far forward onto the tippy toes can you be? Nice flat spine. Now all the way back into the heels and then forward. What's possible? Good. Stay this far forward and we'll lower down. Accept whatever happened. And if collapse and flopping happened, that's where we are. Find something to love about it. Breath in and lift. Shoulders back. Feel the belly. Unclench the buttocks. What are we aware of in our low abdomen, in our chest, in the shoulders and neck? Maybe work that neck. Feel where we are. Pause. Notice, especially these drive-by spots. And then we'll go to downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Now feel the pressure in your palms. Are you digging and gouging into the heels of the palms? Can you involve the entire surface of every digit? Now let's go to that breath that we did in the beginning of practice. Can you find capacity? How does it help you find a balance in where you are in your body, your breath, and your mind right now? That no one space is dominant. Now alternate your lead foot for bringing yourselves back up to the top of your mat. Nice flat spine, lifting, lengthening. Are you lengthening through the neck? Forward fold. Nice flat spine once again. Where's that abdominal breath? Nice flat spine up unless it's causing any pain or discomfort in your back. Tighten that tummy. Tighten that tummy. Let's find a nice side bend. Now we're lengthening and reaching through the side of the body. Breath. Soften the neck. Soften the shoulders. Let's bring ourselves back up and over. Where are you in your feet? Where are you in your hips? Can you feel the tissues in your muscles moving, resisting, stretching? And inhale and take it forward. All right, we'll find a chair. Your feet can be apart or together. Make sure that your feet are parallel. We're going to pull the butt back. See if we can lay our bellies nice and flat on the thighs. And then keep that spine nice and flat. And let's go ahead and reach forward. Check in right now on where can I be resting and where do I need to be working? So anatomically, can you rest the chest and the belly on the thighs? Or do you have to squeeze muscles in the chest and the belly to hold here? Where are you in your feet? Are your feet relaxed? Are your legs relaxed? Or are they pressing? Are they engaged? Now let's lift the spine up into your chair. Choose breath. Back down onto that nice flat shelf. Back up into chair, maybe not. All the way up, find that nice back bend. Push down through the legs, grow long through the front of your body, through the skin in your thighs, the skin in your low belly and pelvis. Can you feel it stretching, lifting? How about around your chest and hinge forward? Shake your head yes or no. Where are we on our mat? What are we practicing? I'm going to step the right foot back foot flat. Left knee is bent. Now, before we come up, can we continue to lay that chest and belly on that thigh and root down through that back leg and notice what we're feeling? Doing something just a little different and asking the core muscles to hold me right here. Reach those arms back, lengthen the head forward. Be in the left leg driving down. Feel your roots permeating through the earth. How about in the back leg? Can you send those roots? What are you feeling? I know the back of my right calf is really talking today. Now, the same way that we angled ourselves up with a flat spine, let's do so here, keeping the arms down. Lifting it up. Are we up? Are we up? What did we notice differently about how we executed that? What are we noticing differently in the muscles, in our bones, in our mind, in our breath? Take it back forward. Bring it back up. Now try to pull the navel to the back of the spine as we go back and forth. Keep driving the roots down. Can you grow tall through the back of your neck, yourself upward? Work in intention. Now, try not to have any tension. Intention, tension, you get it. And we'll bring the hands down. Step the right foot up. Let's straight it out and step the left foot back. Back foot flat. Bend that right knee. Let's work the hips now. Right hip back, left hip forward. Get into your roots. How's the body feeling? Maybe it's starting to heat up. How are you feeling already about maybe a pattern of moving in a class that's different? Are you feeling kind of stuck, kind of fussy about it? Are you feeling, okay, kind of open to a new experience? Look at this moksha or liberation from patterns element in our practice. Practicing doing things in a different way. How might this serve us off of the mat, not just here in this physical body? All right, where are we in the roots? Feeling our intention, saying I'm going to lengthen my spine as best I can here, not perfect. This is just where my body wants to meet me right now. I'm going to come upright. Whoa, feel the hips lift through the top of the head, neck. Where's that abdominal breathing? Do I know what my capacity and possibility are? Can I feel myself reaching for a new limit, a new level, a new learning? And hinge, roots, spine lengthening. Check in with the jaw on that whole tension and intention aspect and bring ourselves back up. Wow, lift. And forward. Maybe do a few more. This is up to you now. Start to notice if you have a lot of tension or any numbing or burning in any area of the body, and just ask yourself, can I affect how much I am tensing there? Am I causing my discomfort? What do I need to adjust in my grip in a certain area of my body to change that discomfort? Hands down, stepping that left foot up, half flat back, breath in, forward fold. We'll bring ourselves back up, lifting. What do we do on our own without being cued? And over and up. Where is your intention in moving on your mat, in your mind? Good, in your practice. And hinging it forward. We're going to stay in this Uttanasana for a moment and then see where we can go. All right, some of you, your hands come down pretty flat here out in front of you. Try to loosen the tummy and see if you can let the whole upper body sag. Notice where your weight is in your feet. Are you all the way back in your heels? Can you distribute the weight evenly over your arches? Contracting the thighs to give support to your structure. Others of you can start to walk your hands back. And we can use that as you bend your elbows to kind of pull the top of the head a little bit more toward the floor. I love when you have to start to involve a bind, a pull, some sort of contact that helps you increase tension, because it helps me look at the patterns that I have in myself. Will I always like squeeze and tighten and push for more? Am I treating myself with kindness, or am I kind of fussing with myself and demanding, you can do this, get in there deeper, right? Unfortunately, I do have a lot of competitive sports stuff in my background, so it's hard to change that tape. But that moksha, right? We get to liberate ourselves from the cycles of suffering. I can make a different choice right now, and I can affect that. All right, we're going to bend the knees, lay the belly on the thighs, reaching those arms forward, squeeze the tummy. Feel your navel just kind of squeezing up into your back, shoulders away from your ears. Making our way up, making our way down, making our way up. Stand, stretch the belly, stretch the chest, root. Where is your energy right now? Where are you committing it? Where are you overdoing it? What can you change? And take it forward. Abdominal breath. Beautiful. Let's step the left foot back. We're going to step it back about 3 feet. And just see about letting the upper body fall, just like we did in the forward fold with our legs together, over this right leg. Now, if you need blocks or books, stool, something to give you a higher platform to hold on to, go ahead. See if you can bring your awareness into that right big toe and that right big toe knuckle. And can you push that into the earth? And notice how it changes your relationship in your foot, where the pressure is being initiated. Bring it a little bit more into the inside of the calf. And starting to rotate that right leg a little bit to the right. Squeeze the right thigh. Tighten that core. Now do the same thing with the back leg. Can you bring your awareness into that back big toe knuckle, the ball joint, and drive them both down? And now the same thing that we did with our legs together. Can you bring those hands down, either out in front of you, or you're starting to turn those palms backward? And we still want to let the shoulders pull away from the ears, because guess what? We still want to see if we can lengthen. We're growing. We're not collapsing in our bodies in our yoga practice. We're growing and expanding and being aware of living in that intentional expansion. Now the abdominal breath. Notice if your intention right now is head smash to leg. Try not to have head smash to leg intention. Okay, now here's a little bit of a game changer, okay? Feel your right hip. See if you can pull it up and back. Your left hip down and forward. And you probably will feel something intensifying with the different muscles in the back of your hamstrings, that grouping. You might have to change your angle in order to accommodate the adjustment, the alignment that you're doing in your hips. Now find a new edge. Many of you are probably wanting to come out now. Ask yourself to investigate, what is it that I want to come out of? Can I adjust something to make it a little more tolerable for a few more breaths? What am I opening myself to be aware of and learn? Or what patterns am I breaking? New level. All right. We're going to bend that right knee. You can walk the hands out in front of you. Be kind. Let's bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Because that right leg probably had the most intensity going on. And then we'll step that left leg up. We're going to bend the knees, squeeze the knees together, lay the belly on the thighs and reach. Focus on whatever is your intention for being in your practice right here. And do that. Chair. I'm going to cross my left knee joint over the right. And see if I can lift the torso up but root down in the right leg. Feel the rooting and the rising. And let life's twists in my hip and my leg just do whatever it's doing. I'm not thinking about that twist. I'm thinking about rooting and lifting. My ease and my observation. Letting go of any space that's starting to feel tense. Uncross, reach it back forward, reach it back forward, forward fold. We're going to step the right foot back about 3 feet. Feet are parallel, toes aiming forward. Try not to have the feet on a tightrope, okay? So that right foot is not directly on the line behind the left. Push down through the left big toe knuckle, push down through the right big toe knuckle. Feel what's going on in the muscles of your calf. Can you rotate that left upper thigh in just a little bit and squeeze the muscles and notice what's going on? And then we'll start to see about releasing that upper body up and over, but greet this side. And whereas on my right side, my right hamstring was the biggest contributor of fussiness. On my left side, my left calf and shin today are the ones with the highest conversation. So I'm trying to listen. I'm doing some adjusting in my hips to talk it out, feel it out. And now I'm just going to accept that it wants to be fussy, so I'm not going to make any more demand. I'm just going to say, okay, let's listen to your fuss. So I'm not going down as deep as I was on that other side. I'm just going to sit here with patience. Personally, I'm just reflecting on, okay, what is this whole left side of me trying to tell me about? What's out of balance? What I've been holding on to? What am I not speaking up? What's stuck? I'm not asking to fix it right now so that I end this pose with my head like on the floor. But I am asking myself to be open to listening. Now, if you want left hip up and back, right hip down and forward, squeeze the legs, work the root. I'm pushing the toes and the tops of the foot down intentionally, and I actually just now started to feel a bit of some stretch in the top of that foot. Where's your core? What's your abdomen doing? What's stuck? What's freely moving energetically through your whole body? Where do you feel the traffic jams? Good. We're going to walk the hands out in front of us, and then let's just bend and straighten. Honoring that, yep, we were in something intense, and we're not going to rush to come out of it. And that's a great point of reflection in our practice of noticing when in life do we endure something intense, but then we want to hurry up and move on with our lives as though, oh, that's over now, so I should be over it. The body is telling us, no, I need some time. And are we willing to give our bodies, our minds, our lives the time that it requires? Not any kind of superficial timeline anyone else is imposing on us. And we'll step that right leg up. Legs together, feet together, bend the knees, reach the chest, breath. Be in your practice. Work on a level of time here. That time element of our practice. New levels of time. What does it open up for us in terms of a landscape of learning? Even our perception of time. I know Claudia and Joe are here. I'm going to lift the chest up. Our perception of time, right? When we were in Empower at the studio, I'm going to cross the right knee over. Maybe toe touch, maybe not. How often were we so shocked as about our perception of time, right? We thought, oh, wow, that felt like it was longer than that, or that felt like something was shorter than that. What is our perception? How are we experiencing time as it is passing? How are we experiencing time right now? Free ourselves of a limiting thought about time. Uncross the legs, breath, stand, breath in, lift, rise, and see about a back bend. All right, heart lift. Lift through the waist and the belly button. We can't tighten the core in order to lift the core, right? We can't stretch a clench. We can't stretch and grow when we're clenching. Where are we needing to unclench in the mind here? Maybe that upper body is starting to release a little bit more. Be in the legs. Lift in the belly. How much trust do we need to involve here? Take your breath with you. Time. Up and over. Deep breath. Sigh it out. Half flat back. We're going to plant the palms, step to our plank. If you need to take a break, take a break. What did we get to observe? Not what did I get to do? What did I get to observe? Lean it forward, coming out to those tippy toes, and then we're going to come down as slowly. Remember time? Feel, experience. What have I been driving by this whole time? Slowly, belly touch. Feel the earth, feel the releasing of that energy. We're not getting over anything. We are in it. Be in it. Be in the release of energy just as much as we are in the accumulation of it. And we'll lift. How much breath capacity can we have? And downward facing dog. All right, we're going to lift I got to think about this. Sorry. Left leg up. We're going to bring that foot through in between the hands, spin the right foot flat, and make our way up for warrior two. I didn't want to end up choosing a direction that started me off with my back to you. And I'm really kind of digging this profile right now because it makes me look like I have like this most glorious regal afro. I love it. All right, so my left knee is bent. Hips are open. Now, I'm going to recommend that you have a chair right here or a block right here. All right, let's find our warrior two first. Feeling the hips squared, feeling our torso squared. And we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana because remember, half moon is one of our poses this week. We've already done pyramid. We've already done eagle in our postures today. And maybe our mind has been reflecting on, what are we liberating ourselves from pattern-wise? What are we experiencing? How do I get to adjust and be a part of freeing myself from a tension that I am experiencing? How does my intention help me with alleviating my tension? Shoulders soft. Remember, I've been talking so much about lengthening up through the top of the head. How much can we sag and sink into these legs? Bring an effortlessness to it. Because I got to trust that these legs have me, my scaffolding, so that the rest can find a freedom. Now feel this sideways profile, and think about your sideways profile of this body as though you are your bread in the toaster. I can't claim as that is an original thought of mine. I know I heard it years and years and years ago, and I just love it as an image. So I'm going to straighten and sink. All right. Now I'm going to bring my hand to that block. I'm going to bring it here. Now let's keep the torso back up in that sideways alignment. Let's see if we can do that again. So carry, I'm going to take a moment, I'm going to pause. You can stay in it if you like, but carry that same thought and intention of that hinging, okay? That hinging of the hips, hinging, to see if we can take that same aspect, keeping this torso static here, hinging, okay? So that I'm not turning my belly and chest down. I'm staying bread in the toaster into the slot and back up. Now, I noticed, because I have a camera in front of me, but I want to see if I can keep my knee over that heel. Find that warrior two again. And then I'm going to reach, toaster, knee staying and bringing it back up. What changed? What do we get to learn? What new level of intention? Press, hips, knee, lifting, effortless toast, reach. All right. My hand is on that block. I keep turning that bread into the toaster. Try to get your butt to come into the slot of the toaster too. Don't burn the crust. All right. Bringing ourselves back up. Let's straighten. Now, I'm not going to switch yet. We are going to go into Ardha Chandrasana. We're giving this thigh just a little bit of a break and ask it, okay, working time, working endurance, seeing new levels within exertion, within energy that feels like it's expiring. We're going to test it. We're going to feel out a new level, but let's try to remain free in our mind about what happens. No expectation, right? We practice and we detach. We practice and we detach. That's an element of freedom that we can bring into this practice with this new level. Not so much of a determination that we are creating a force on ourselves, an aggressive act on ourselves. All right, so I'm going to reach here, find my torso. I'm going to look forward. Now I'm going to gotta bend my right leg. It's a spring. Okay, so we're going to go into that half moon. So I'm bending that right leg. I'm going to hop that foot up maybe a few inches. And as I do so, each time I got to ask that left leg to start to straighten and stand me. And now I'm going to bring my weight into the left leg and lift. Is your chest toast still in the toaster? Sorry. All right, I should let go of that analogy, shouldn't I? We have to have some energy in that right leg. Otherwise, it's a floppy, wet noodle as a rudder, right? Rudders are not floppy. If you're in a boat, you're in anything, something that flies, that has a rudder. It can't be floppy. It needs solid direction. And I just got to explore. All right, try to stick with it, come back. Feel and explore. I know we were all in a fatigue space on that left leg. Bending the left leg, reaching to the back of the mat. And bringing ourselves back up. Straightening and bending, releasing energy as a process, as an action, as a part of our yoga. Not, oh, well, one day it won't feel like that if I got better. No, we're in an organic body. It just used a bunch of energy. All right. We're just going to transition to the other side. And look, I got a stack of blocks over here. All right, let's bend this knee. Whew. Sinking, feeling. Hips, torso, reaching. Where are you right now? What are you practicing right now? Reach down and up. Ooh. And reach sideways. Keeping that right knee in the warrior two if we can. Slowly stay in your toaster torso. And one more time. Breath. Maybe not. Maybe your body is saying, yeah, no. Or maybe your body's like, oh my goodness, where has this been my whole life? Shoulders at ease. Where's the ease? What pattern are you liberating yourself from right now? Check it from the toes to the ankles. What tension can you let go of? Because we have an intention of liberation. Be active in the act of liberating. Okay, we're going to reach. I'm going to bring that block down out in front of that foot. Bending that back leg, nice little spring. Maybe give it a thrust and come up. Now I've got to ask my right leg to hold me. So I'm bringing weight into the right leg. And I'm going to start to come onto the left toe, coming into the right leg, asking it. It wasn't ready, and now it's like, oh, okay. But I love feeling that process, that tentative process at first. And then it's like, oh, you want me to do this thing. And how did the rest of my body have to collaborate? Kind of encourage it. Come on, right leg, you got this. And then torso's like, oops, I need to hush. I got stuff to do. Where's your mind? Where's that abdominal breath? Where is a free space right now? Expansive in our mind. Not wanting this to look any kind of way. We've got no outcome-based performance going on. Because this isn't a performance. We're feeling, experiencing. Find a new edge of time. We'll start to bend the right knee. Stay in it if you're in it. Bringing that left foot down. Find that side angle. Bringing ourselves back up. And then feel release. Be an active participant in freeing the energy that was needed to hold that space so we can invite in energy in a new space. Good. We're straighten. Spin on that heel so that both feet are parallel. Nice little release coming into Prasarita Padottanasana. So let's just let that upper body come forward. Maybe rock forward and back. We're going to bring ourselves down. I was just thinking, and I think I'm just going to share it. I think I've shared with you all about a friend of mine who got to go and study in India, and the perspective that she brought back with me from her guru was that she was like, I don't know if you want to practice with me anymore because my practice is so different now. And it was that, she works one pose. That's it, And I don't mean to say it in that way as to diminish any of its importance. Think about, so what dawned on me just now is, think about what we just did with the warrior two into the side angle and then coming up into half moon. What if that was all that we practiced? Let's say we were going to get up and go do it again, and then get up and go do it again. Or that chair practice that we did, or that ego practice that we did, that pyramid practice. If you did that for a half hour each day, maybe for 2 weeks, and then you moved on to a different pose, what would you learn? What would you learn about yourself? Would you feel as though it wasn't a valid practice? Let's keep embracing that this whole scenario of Home Yoga Practice Live was meant to give us ways to think about and maybe construct our personal yoga practice, all right? Taking out that template of a class and what it looks like, especially the vinyasa classes. I love vinyasa. I'm not poo-pooing on it. I'm saying that can we start to liberate ourselves, and maybe we can extend that moksha thought into liberating ourselves from patterns of the way in which we feel our practice has to be, so that we can open ourselves to new opportunities and new learning. And that's growth. All right. So I'm going to approach us sharing the other space that we were going to do was Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. And I don't know if Kara is here. Kara had suggested that was a posture that we were working, but we're going to work it from an aspect of sitting as a way of new edges. Some of you have been with me before. We've done this before. You're not going to like it. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't like it. I think I probably need to be even more transparent with that kind of stuff more often too. That I do. I'm going to try to remember to do that and let you all know, like, the stuff that even if I'm sharing it and doing it, it does not mean I love it. Sometimes I make myself eat my Brussels sprouts in front of you guys. And sometimes I like Brussels sprouts, but I had a really negative relationship with it when I was a kid. Okay, I digress. Squirrel moment. All right, let's come to sitting. Let me move this out of the way. Legs out in front of us, clearing out some fleshy bits. Feel the spine. Okay, so we were in that half flat back standing, so feel that in where we are sitting. Feel that intention of that energy driving the torso upright. All right, so we're going to reach out. You might need a strap here. Reaching out with our right hand, extending to the right big toe, peace fingers, grab big toe, be nice to your big toe. And then find how much you can actually keep lifting the torso up for that nice flat spine. So you're going to feel the tension and resistance in the clasping, right? This is the unit that is connecting us, that arm. Can we draw that right shoulder back into socket while sitting upright? Squeezing the legs, pushing the backs of the legs down, lifting and growing through the front of the chest. Keep this spine nice and lifted, and we're going to lift this leg. All right, so here's where I'm trying to hold myself accountable energetically. Chest up. I'm not worried about the physical. I'm not like, I want to make a picture. Nope, I'm just, my energy is intending up. Now, navel to the back of your spine. Really engage the navel. Push the back of the left leg down. Chest is lifting, shoulders back. Observe your tension right now. Drive through that right heel up. And on the count of 3, we're going to let that leg go and see if it wants to stay there. Any of you have been with me for a while, you know it's not gonna. But we're going to work on it, and we're going to stay here, not falling back here, okay? Breath. Work the chest one more time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Breath. Feel these muscles. Hold that leg. Breath. Work on your time. Observe your mind. Where's the tension? Where's your intention? And I'm done. I'm going to let it go. Ooh, I'm rubbing that out. Remember, we give space and time for release of energy. Releasing of energy is an action, not just the accumulation of it. All right. Other side. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Or use a strap. And what do I mean by or? All right. If you're finding yourself, maybe I should turn this way. And we're seeing ourselves like trying to get that leg, and this leg is bent, and our whole chest is hunched, and we're like, I got it. Get a strap, okay? Let's not struggle. Let's bring a purity of intention of love within ourselves. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to turn this away. Spine, legs, fingers. Excuse me. Gaseous emanations. Chest up. Ooh, me and this left side today. Pulling the shoulder back. Now I'm pausing here because I'm practicing my practice. And everything that I've said earlier about that left side, right? I actually can feel it through the neck, down that left shoulder. Now, the real woo-woo part of me is starting to come out here a little bit and says, okay, my left side is my receiving side, right? If I'm looking at the plus and negative charges of energy, left side of the body seen as the feminine side, the yin side, that side that needs to be nurtured and delivers nurturing. And so I'm connecting and going, oh, what have I not nurtured? Because I am super duper tense on this side. And I've been super dependent on my actionable side. So it's good to listen. Listen to the wisdom of this body and maybe pause and say, oh, what have I been forgetting? What have I been ignoring? Well, we're going to lift. I'm finding a better class because my poor big toe was like, I hate you, Belinda. And I don't want that, right? That's not what this practice is about. Chest. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Try not to lean the chest back. The leg is going to drop. Find an ease somewhere in this. How are you holding this leg? Are we still loving this leg that's attached to us, that's done so much in our lives? Ooh, my back. Ooh, lift. And lower. Feel that, massage that. Be grateful that we can feel that activation of energy in order to then be able to feel this release of energy. All right, so we had half moon, extended hand to foot, pyramid, and eagle. I'm going to do one Baddha Konasana, and then we're going to do our shoulder stand. Today is that day of new edges. So first, I just want to open the hips. We've had some neutral stuff. We did do the warrior 2 for a little bit, but we're going to have a double open hip space, pressing. Now, remember what I said from the standing where we folded the body at that hinging of the hip, okay? We're going to do that same thing here, trying to keep that spine nice and flat. Here, I guess a sideways profile. I don't have to do hand puppet yoga, right? Pressing the inner thighs, spine up, hinge. So you see how I'm hinging from these hips, trying to keep that spine nice and flat. Here's where, if I'm caving in that back, I'm not lengthening the spine, okay? You can actually see it from where my head is here, and watch, if I lengthen the spine, and if I round and collapse the spine. Space in our yoga, breath in, space for movement, physically, breath-wise, mentally, spiritually. Abdominal breath. And we'll bring ourselves up. Hang out there as long as you need. Okay, so for our shoulder stand, we've been talking today a bit about time. And so I would like us to spend some time in our shoulder stand. So you can do it supported at the wall. And I think I'm going to start with a demo of that, but I might end moving away from the wall myself personally into an unsupported shoulder stand. Well, it's going to be supported because I'm going to have my hands. We're not doing neurolumbar. That's completely not safe, unsupervised. So we're not going to do that. But supported at the wall or supported not at the wall. But it's going to be about time. All right. If you have some neck vertebra issues, if you have seizure disorders, if you're having any blood pressure issues, anything that might indicate that you tend to pass out, let's not do this. Okay, maybe just do bridge, lying on your back, lifting your hips for a little bit, and then ease your way into Shavasana. You could even do a supported Shavasana with some pillows under your knees or under your hips. All right, so do hear me on that caution. And otherwise, we're going to get closing toward our last posture and that shoulder stand. I tend to always close with that one as opposed to, I mean, you could begin and end with it, but it's a wonderful closing of practice posture. It cools and stills the nervous system. It's a very calmative effect. All right. So it is a very cooling, restorative space. And today we'll work on a time edge. You are going to know what your time edge is that you usually tend to want to be in it. And then see if you can find 2 more breaths. Maybe some of you are like, maybe I'll see about 20 more breaths. All right. That's going to be up to you. Of course, I'll work within the confines of time. We'll probably go over a little bit. I see that it's near 11:30, so I'll probably go over. You can always hit replay. Please, I hope that all of you are finding ways of engaging in doing your practice without a video at some point in time in these weeks. Because you got to take that tricycle out and ride it by yourself and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to start at the wall. So we're going to come close to a wall. You could always use a chair as well. And I know many of you, especially if you've been, with me for a while, either online this year or have been with me for a while, real life, at the studio, you might be like, oh, she says the same thing over and over. But I try to always work from the approach that everybody is new, right? I can't assume what anyone knows. All right, so bear with us. And bring our hips up against the wall. If you're doing wall's a great place to be. And we're going to swing the legs up the wall so that the butt is touching the wall. And as you see, I had to do 2 little scooches to get my back against the wall. I'm sorry, my butt against the wall, my legs against the wall. All righty. Got eyelash issues today. Maybe they're growing, or do they shed? I guess eyelids shed. Eyelashes shed. Not eyelids. I don't want my eyelids to shed. Let's take a moment and just take in this perspective and already feel the nervous system calming. Like a warm, heavy blanket got placed on us in the chest cavity. Maybe allow a moment of reflecting just how much the muscles of the chest and back and torso overall have to work to remain in an upright position against gravity. I'm certainly aware of the non-working when I've got my back against the floor here, because it's like, oh, I guess my back and my belly are doing a lot of work to hold my chest up, and I hadn't realized it. Gravity is a very humbling aspect of this atmosphere. Feel our coexistence with it as we rise and fall in the chest with breath. Accept the peace and the quiet right here. All right, we're going to walk the feet to the wall. Feel your feet maybe 3 to 4 inches apart, knees as well. Keeping your gaze up so that we're never turning the neck in this pose, so that we keep an even pressure on the shoulder blades, not any undue pressure on the neck in a kinked position. That would be bad. And I'll repeat one more time for anyone who's just joining, not hitting this on replay, but just joining. If you have any vertebra issues, injuries, disorders, if you have any seizure disorders, blood pressure issues, anything that may make you pass out, please do not do this. All right, arms down alongside your waist, keeping the gaze up. Maybe lift the chin a little bit. And we're going to push the feet into the wall and lift the hips. Now, I'm going to walk my feet up a bit and bring my hands to my low back and push up. Now, I'm wiggling my elbows closer toward one another. And I got to lift my chin. Now, for anyone who's a participant who is well endowed in the chest area, whether it's mammary glands, whether it's just our natural, wonderful rotundness, you might have some issues of smotherage, okay? So I'm going to gently lower down. Please feel free to stay if you're comfortable. So if that is an issue, it doesn't mean that this posture can't be for you. You might want to get a yoga strap and you tie it and keep yourself an ability to breathe right here to keep this shelf of flesh from smothering our ability to breathe, okay? And then add that into your practice of your yoga about liberation and breaking ourselves from any patterns, right? Do we think that something isn't for us and that we can't change something and we go, oh, I can? Will we do it? That is a form of taking active steps toward our own liberation from a pattern that was limiting us from growth, limiting us from creating new space and learning. All right, I'm going to press, lift, rejoin, elbows, lifting the chin. And basically, Belinda's excuse today is that I needed a better bra for this practice. I didn't plan ahead. Now, this is more than fine for some of us to stay right here. Others of you might want to play with one leg up. Relax your belly, okay? So we're going to just find, don't do a deep abdominal breath. We're just doing a natural, easy breath. Some may be noticing, and I hope that you can't, actually. You shouldn't be turning your head. Ha ha! But you could be lifting one leg, keeping the heel above your butt. And you can be switching. Be aware of the support structure of this pose. What is in contact with the earth, holding us up from falling? All right, so you might be aware of the backs of the arms and the elbows. You might be aware of the backs of your shoulders. If you're feeling and very aware of the neck, don't go any further, maybe come on down. Now, others of you may be feeling like, okay, I'm feeling pretty steady. Maybe you lift both legs. Now, if you are, don't kick your way up. Can you lift one leg? And can you free the other leg, feeling some of your back muscles and core muscles? Remember, we were talking about our good friend gravity. Now, our lower body is up in the air, having to support itself against gravity. So we can't let those legs be noodles, because if they were noodles, they just start to loop all the way down to the earth. So you've got to drive those legs up. But the stuff that's on the earth can let the earth do the earth work, and we just get to chill. Can you find that sweet spot where you don't feel like you're working hard to keep the legs up, where you're not working hard to keep your back supported? You have a nice calm breath. Your mind's not in a hurry to get to anything other than where we are. I'm going to give myself 5 more breaths. If you're done, just bring your feet back to the wall. And if the feet are on the wall, release the arms. Feel that release in the arms and the shoulders as you lower your back down. If you're still at the wall, you can bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees open. Your eyes can be open or closed. And just find some stillness here. The most effortless stillness. No sudden movements, but we'll ease our way up to get ready to close. Hands to the heart center, holding the intention of the Anjali Mudra, intending no harm, intending only the goodness of our heart to present to others and to hold for ourselves. Thank yourselves for giving yourself this time for practice. Honestly, truly, everything that you practiced, every limb and aspect of your yoga. And notice how it's helping you flourish and helping you grow, helping you find patience and compassion off the mat, as well as on the mat. Namaste. Thank you all so very much for sharing and joining in with yoga. I'll stick around for a moment in case anybody has any questions or anything that they'd like to share. This week we've been working on Moksha, liberation or freedom from the cycles of suffering, our habitual tendencies, and bringing that into asana, yoga poses, breath. We did abdominal breaths today. And so many aspects of even into our time and duration in our practice. All right, tomorrow's practice is our basics and our fundamentals and foundations. Saturday, we have a basic yoga flow as well as our Empower Yoga at 11:30. Hope to see you all at some time there. Please feel free to make a comment here, anything that you want to be learning that we can add into some themes for some future weeks, or any questions that you have about your own practice in the comments here, or you could message them privately. Thank you so much. Namaste. Half moon from Warrior 2. Yay, Claudia.